Welcome back to the channel. Here we explore Stoic wisdom, not as dry theory but as a living guide to help you grow stronger, more disciplined, and unshakable in the face of life's challenges. If you're ready, let's dive in. Every single morning, millions of us wake up with the same silent battle inside our minds. The alarm rings, and instead of rising, we hit snooze. We tell ourselves, "I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow will be different. Tomorrow I'll finally get serious." But here's the truth. Tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow is just another word we use to push away the life we were meant to live today. And while we wait for the perfect moment, life keeps moving. Days turn into weeks, weeks into years. We look back and wonder, where did the time go? But deep down we know the answer. We gave it away, one excuse at a time. No one is coming to save you. Not your boss, not your friends, not even your family. Life is not a movie where the hero suddenly appears to rescue you. The only person who can step in and change your life is you. That may sound heavy, maybe even unfair, but it's also the most empowering truth you will ever hear. Because if it's up to you, then nothing, not your past, not your failures, not your circumstances, can stop you from moving forward today. This is where Stoicism enters. Stoicism is not some dusty philosophy locked away in books. It's a living code of discipline, of mastering your inner world when the outer world feels chaotic. It's the reminder that your thoughts shape your actions shape your habits, and your habits shape your destiny. So let me ask you this. How many more mornings will you let slip away, telling yourself that tomorrow will be the day? Or will you decide that today, right now, is the moment you rise, take control, and finally step into the life that's waiting for you? 1. Win the morning, win the day. Picture this. A soldier about to face battle. He sharpens his sword, tightens his armor, and steadies his heart. Why? Because he knows if he enters the fight unprepared, defeat is almost certain. Now let me ask you, how many of us step into our own daily battles completely unprepared? We roll over, hit the snooze button, and start the day already behind. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, left us a powerful reminder. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, "I have to go to work," as a human being. In other words, you were not born to waste your mornings scrolling your phone or bargaining with laziness. You were born to rise, to act, to live with purpose. Let me share the story of Daniel. Every morning his alarm went off at 6 a.m., and every morning he hit snooze again and again. 10 more minutes, then another 10. By the time he finally rolled out of bed, the day was already slipping away. He rushed through his morning, frustrated, tired, always feeling like he was chasing time. But here's the painful truth. It wasn't time he was chasing. It was discipline. And without discipline, he lost the battle before it even began. You see, you are the warrior of your own life. And the battleground? It starts the moment your alarm rings. That instant when you choose whether to rise or retreat determines far more than just your morning. It sets the tone for your entire day. So how do you win this battle? Start with something small, something immediate. When your alarm goes off, get up. Don't negotiate with your excuses. Don't give your comfort even a second of debate. Stand up, stretch, take a deep breath, drink a glass of cold water, or open a book and read a single page. These may seem like tiny actions, but they create momentum, and momentum is everything. Ask yourself this: why should you get up? What is waiting for you beyond that bed? Maybe it's your health, your career, your family, your own dreams that you've been putting off. Find that reason, because when you have a strong why, it becomes easier to push through the how. And remember, the morning is your chance to set the direction of your day before the world begins to pull you in 1,000 directions. Win the morning, and you anchor your day in strength, clarity, and discipline. Lose the morning, and you spend the rest of the day trying to recover ground you've already given away. The Stoics believed that greatness is not found in grand speeches or fleeting inspiration, but in small, consistent victories over yourself. And what greater victory is there than to rise with purpose while the rest of the world still sleeps? So tomorrow morning, when that alarm rings, see it for what it truly is. Not a nuisance, not an interruption, but a call to battle. And when you rise, you don't just conquer the morning, you conquer yourself. And if you can conquer yourself, there is nothing in this world you cannot conquer. Go and start now. How many times have you caught yourself saying, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll finally get serious. Tomorrow I'll take that step. But tomorrow never arrives. It's always just out of reach, always a promise we make but never keep. Richard's story is a painful reminder of this. For 10 years, he dreamed of writing a book, starting a business, changing his life. 10 years. And yet every day he found a reason to wait. I'll start when I have more money. I'll start when I feel ready. I'll start when things settle down. A decade later, nothing had changed. His dream wasn't destroyed by failure. It was destroyed by waiting. Here's the truth. Your problem isn't time. It's not that you don't have enough hours in the day. The problem is discipline. The problem is the decision you keep postponing. Seneca, the great Stoic, put it simply. While we are postponing, life speeds by. Life doesn't slow down just because you hesitate. It keeps moving, whether you're ready or not. And that's what makes procrastination so dangerous. Failure won't ruin you. If you fail, at least you've learned, grown, and moved forward. But procrastination? That's silent poison. It kills your dreams not with a single blow, but with 1,000 little delays. Think of the parable of the servant who was entrusted with talents. One invested, one multiplied, but one buried his gift in the ground, doing nothing. And it was the one who did nothing who faced judgment. The lesson is clear. The greatest mistake you can make is not trying at all. So let me ask you, what's the one thing you've been putting off? Writing that first page? Walking into the gym? Making that call? The truth is, you don't need the perfect plan, the perfect day, or the perfect feeling. You just need to start. Right here. Right now. Yes, it will feel uncomfortable. Yes, you'll feel unprepared. But that's the point. The people you admire, the ones who built something meaningful, didn't wait for the stars to align. They acted. They stumbled. They learned. And because they acted, they grew stronger. So stop bargaining with time. Stop telling yourself you'll begin when everything is perfect. Because if you're waiting for perfect, you'll be waiting forever. Take that first small step today. Write one sentence. Do one push-up. Dial one number. Small beginnings lead to great transformations, but only if you begin. Your future is built in the present. Not tomorrow, not someday, but today. So rise up, take action. And don't let another moment slip away because your life is happening right now. Duties, discipline over feelings. Let's be honest. Most people fail, not because they're not smart enough, not because they don't have opportunities, but because they are prisoners of their feelings. They live like addicts to dopamine, constantly chasing the next quick hit of pleasure. Another notification on the phone, another mindless scroll through social media, another snack they don't need. It feels good for a moment, but in the long run, it robs them of strength, focus, and purpose. The truth is, your brain is wired to choose comfort. It's designed to avoid pain and seek reward. That's why it always whispers, "Not now. Take it easy. Do it later." But here's the harsh reality. Those who always listen to their feelings will always remain stuck. Feelings are unreliable. They change by the hour. And if you let them control your life, they will lead you nowhere. The men and women who truly succeed don't wait until they feel inspired. They don't ask themselves, "Do I feel like working out today? Do I feel like writing today? Do I feel like showing up?" No, they simply do it. Whether they're tired, whether they're in the mood, whether anyone is watching or not, they show up. That's the difference. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, reminded himself daily that discipline must be built from the smallest things. It is not about conquering the world in a day. It is about conquering yourself in the small moments. Getting out of bed when you don't want to. Finishing the task when it's boring. Saying no to the easy path and yes to the right one. That's discipline. But how do we build this strength? Let me give you 3 steps. Step 1. Eliminate cheap dopamine. Silence the constant pings of notifications. Limit the endless scrolling. Stop numbing yourself with unconscious eating or distractions. Every time you remove a cheap reward, you create space for real growth. Step 2. Train discipline like a reflex. Don't negotiate with your feelings. Don't wait to feel ready. When the moment comes, act. Make it automatic, like brushing your teeth. The more you act without overthinking, the stronger your discipline muscle grows. Step 3. Accept the struggle. The things that matter most, health, mastery, character, love, always demand effort, sacrifice, and discomfort. If it were easy, everyone would have it. That's why only those who endure earn the rewards. The Bible gives us a powerful image. A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. Without discipline, you are defenseless. Any temptation can conquer you. Any impulse can control you. But with discipline, you build walls of strength around your life, protecting your purpose and your future. So I want you to ask yourself, are you living as a slave to feelings or as a master of discipline? Do you let comfort dictate your actions, or do you command yourself to rise higher? Remember this, discipline is freedom. It frees you from the chains of impulse, from the trap of procrastination, from the regret of a wasted life. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait to feel like it. Show up. Do the work. Build the life that only discipline can create. Because in the end, feelings fade, but discipline lasts forever. 4. Your life is built on your daily habits. Think about this. Your life today is nothing more than the sum of your habits. The way you wake up, the way you spend your mornings, the food you eat, the way you think, the way you handle challenges. Every little action you repeat daily is quietly building your destiny. Science tells us that our brain, through the basal ganglia, turns repeated actions into habits. That is why you don't have to think about brushing your teeth or tying your shoes. It's automatic. The problem is, the brain doesn't care whether the habit is good or bad. Scroll on your phone for hours? That becomes a habit. Skip your workout every day? That becomes a habit. But so does reading one page of a book, journaling each morning, or showing up to your craft consistently. Bad habits trap you in stagnation. They drain your energy and keep you stuck in cycles of regret. But good habits, they create momentum, they build discipline, and they shape a life of purpose and success. So the question is, what habits are you building right now? Are they moving you closer to the life you want, or further away? The Stoics believe that success doesn't come from endless planning or knowledge alone. It comes from disciplined action, repeated day after day. And if you want to shape your future, you must start with your habits. There are 4 core principles I want you to remember. First, master your thoughts. Everything begins in the mind. If you constantly feed yourself with negativity, fear, and distraction, that's the life you'll build. But if you fill your mind with clarity, courage, and focus, you create habits that elevate you. Second, build discipline. Discipline is the bridge between intention and reality. Without it, even the best goals stay as dreams. Discipline is what transforms I should into I did. Third, sustain focus. In today's noisy world, distraction is the enemy of progress. Pick one important goal and give it your energy. Stop scattering your attention across 10 things at once. Success comes to those who can hold their focus when everyone else is drifting. Fourth, take action. This is the most important of all. Knowledge means nothing if it isn't put to use. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to wait for the stars to align. What you need is the courage to start right now with what you have. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine 2 people. One spends hours every evening scrolling on social media, relaxing but wasting precious time. The other shuts off distractions, picks one meaningful goal, maybe building a side business, learning a skill, or improving their health, and takes action on it daily. Fast forward 1 year. One person is in the exact same place, maybe even worse. The other has transformed their life. The difference isn't luck, it isn't talent, it's habits. Your destiny is not written in the stars, it's written in your daily routines. The small things you repeat today are quietly deciding who you will become tomorrow. So, ask yourself, what kind of future are your habits creating right now? If you don't like the answer, the good news is this: you can change it. Not someday, not when life is easier, but starting today. Because in the end, habits are not just what you do, they are who you become. 5. Greatness requires sacrifice. Everyone wants to be great. Everyone wants success, respect, and a life that matters. But here is the truth that most people don't want to face. Greatness always requires sacrifice. You cannot cling to comfort and at the same time rise to your highest potential. The two paths do not meet. Think about Matthew. He says he wants a strong, healthy body, but he refuses to give up late-night junk food and endless laziness. He says he wants a successful career, but he never sacrifices his weekends to study, learn, or build skills. He wants the rewards, but not the cost. And because of that, he stays exactly where he is. Maybe you've seen this in others. Maybe you've even seen it in yourself. The Stoics were clear about this. Seneca once wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity." Why? Because adversity, sacrifice, and discomfort are the fire that forges character. A life without sacrifice may feel easier in the moment, but it leaves you empty, untested, and unfulfilled. Look at Marcus Aurelius. He was emperor of Rome, carrying the weight of an empire on his shoulders. His life was not one of luxury and ease. It was one of duty, sacrifice, and constant challenge. Or think of Epictetus, born a slave, enduring suffering most of us can hardly imagine. Yet from that hardship, he built a philosophy that still guides people centuries later. Their greatness was not given. It was earned through sacrifice. And here's the truth you and I must accept. There is no third option. Either you choose sacrifice and rise, or you choose comfort and remain ordinary. You can't have both. You can't demand greatness while avoiding struggle. Ask yourself, what are you willing to give up for the life you say you want? Are you willing to sacrifice hours of mindless entertainment for hours of learning? Are you willing to give up unhealthy habits to build strength and energy? Are you willing to endure rejection, failure, and long nights of hard work in pursuit of something bigger than yourself? Because every person who has ever achieved greatness paid a price. Athletes sacrifice comfort for endless training. Artists sacrifice security for their craft. Leaders sacrifice popularity to stand for truth. Parents sacrifice their own desires for the sake of their children's future. Sacrifice is the common thread. The problem is, most people want to keep both hands full. They want comfort in one hand and greatness in the other. But life doesn't work that way. You must let go of one to grasp the other. So let me leave you with this. If you feel life is asking you to give something up, don't see it as punishment. See it as an invitation to rise. Every sacrifice you make for something meaningful is not a loss. It's an investment. An investment in strength, in growth, in the person you are becoming. Greatness will never come to the one who chooses the couch over the challenge, the easy path over the hard one, the comfort zone over the battlefield of growth. You must decide. Comfort or greatness, mediocrity or sacrifice. There is no third choice. And the moment you choose sacrifice, you begin the journey to greatness. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you truly challenged yourself? For many people, the answer is uncomfortable. Because the truth is, most of us are living lives that are far too comfortable. And comfort, while it feels good in the moment, is quietly the enemy of growth. Think of the average office worker. He spends his days sitting in a chair, staring at screens, snacking whenever he feels like it. It feels easy, it feels safe. But over time, his body grows weaker, his energy fades, and his mind becomes dull. Comfort slowly erodes his potential. What once felt like taking it easy turns into chains that keep him stuck. Science proves this too. There is a concept called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself based on what we repeatedly do. If you choose the easy path day after day, your brain literally adapts to laziness. It optimizes itself for comfort. But if you choose challenge, if you push into discomfort, your brain grows stronger, more resilient, more capable. The mind, like a muscle, is shaped by the resistance it faces. That's why the Stoics reminded us to embrace hardship, not run from it. Epictetus said, "Difficulties are things that show what men are." In other words, your struggles reveal your strength. You don't discover your courage in moments of ease. You discover it in the storm, when everything inside you wants to quit. But you keep going. Think about the times in your life when you grew the most. Was it when everything was comfortable, predictable, and easy? Or was it when you were tested, stretched, and forced to rise to the occasion? The truth is, pain is a teacher. Discomfort is the gym where the soul becomes strong. Even the Bible reminds us, "By your endurance you will gain your lives." Endurance doesn't come from sitting in the comfort zone. It comes from choosing the harder path, staying faithful through the trial, and pushing forward when giving up feels easier. So the next time life feels uncomfortable, I want you to see it differently. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What is this shaping in me?" Instead of running back to comfort, lean into the challenge. Because every difficult moment is an invitation to grow. Growth never comes from staying soft. Muscles only strengthen under weight. The mind only sharpens under pressure. Character only deepens under trials. That is why the people who achieve greatness are not the ones who seek the easiest road. They were the ones who dare to climb the mountain. So let me leave you with this. Comfort is seductive, but it is a thief. It steals your strength, your potential, and your future. Challenge, on the other hand, is demanding, but it gives you everything. Every time you choose discomfort, whether it's waking up early, pushing through a workout, having the hard conversation, or taking the first step into the unknown, you are choosing growth. And one day when you look back, you'll realize the struggles that once felt like your enemies were, in fact, your greatest allies. Comfort is easy, but it keeps you small. Discomfort is hard, but it makes you great. Which one will you choose? 7. Small wins, every day. We often believe that real change only happens through massive breakthroughs, that success comes from one giant leap forward. But here's the danger in that thinking. If you were always waiting for the big moment, you'll miss the small daily steps that actually transform your life. Take Michael, for example. He didn't start with a radical overhaul. He didn't spend hours in the gym or read 100 books in a year. No, he began with 5 push-ups a day and 1 page of a book. That's it. Nothing flashy, nothing extreme. But here's the magic. He did it every single day. And after 1 year, those small wins compounded into something extraordinary. His body, his mind, his confidence, completely transformed. That's the secret most people overlook. Success doesn't come from a sudden explosion of effort. It comes from small, consistent victories stacked on top of each other. Each small win builds momentum. Each small win creates a habit, and those habits create a life. But here's the challenge. Your brain will try to stop you. The moment you think about taking action, excuses start flooding in. I'm too tired. It's not the right time. I'll do it tomorrow. That's why you need a simple tool to break through the hesitation. One powerful method is the 5-4-3-2-1 rule. When your mind resists, don't negotiate. Just count down, then act. Don't think, don't delay, move. That tiny shift from thought to action changes everything. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Stop overthinking, stop debating with yourself. Start doing. Even if it's small, even if it feels insignificant, take the step. And the Bible gives us the same wisdom. Whoever watches the wind will not plant, and whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. If you're waiting for the perfect condition, you'll never begin. There will always be wind. There will always be clouds. There will always be reasons to delay. But growth comes to the one who plants anyway, who takes action even when it doesn't feel perfect. So here's the question. What small win can you commit to today? Maybe it's drinking a glass of water instead of soda. Maybe it's writing one paragraph. Maybe it's walking for 10 minutes. The action doesn't have to be big. It just has to be consistent. Because over time, those small wins stack up. They rewire your brain. They reshape your habits. They create momentum that carries you through bigger challenges. Don't underestimate the power of small. A river carves valleys not by one giant flood, but by steady flow over time. A great oak grows not in one day, but by adding a tiny ring each season. And your transformation will come not from waiting for lightning to strike, but from choosing to win the day in small ways, over and over again. So don't wait for the breakthrough. Create it through small wins every single day. 8. You are the only one responsible. There's a truth that many people try to run away from, but it is the one truth that will set you free. You are the only one responsible for your life. Not your parents, not your boss, not your partner, not the government. You. The moment you start pointing fingers, blaming others, or waiting for someone to come and save you, you've already lost. Because here's the reality. A victim mindset has never built a strong life. It only creates excuses. Think about William. He spent years blaming everyone around him. His family for not supporting him, his boss for not promoting him, society for being unfair. But the hard truth? William wasn't taking action. He wasn't doing the work. He was waiting for someone else to hand him the life he wanted. And because of that, nothing changed. This is where the Stoics were brutally honest. They believed that while we cannot control everything that happens, we are always in control of how we respond. And that means responsibility always comes back to you. You are both the cause and the solution. Yes, life will throw challenges at you. Yes, things will happen that are unfair. But blaming others doesn't fix it. Complaining doesn't move you forward. Only action does. The path to success is not about making one giant decision. It's about the small choices you repeat every single day. Choosing to wake up early. Choosing to read instead of scrolling endlessly. Choosing to have the hard conversation instead of avoiding it. Each choice is a vote for the life you want to live. Here's a question worth asking yourself. 10 years from now, will you look back with pride or with regret? Will you be grateful for the discipline, the courage, the responsibility you took today? Or will you be haunted by the opportunities you let slip away? Because here's the painful truth. If you don't take ownership now, your future self will pay the price. And regret is the heaviest burden a human being can carry. But the good news is this. You are not powerless. You don't have to wait for anyone's permission to change your life. You can start right now. You can take responsibility for your actions, your mindset, your growth. And once you do, everything shifts. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." And living begins when you stop waiting and start owning your choices. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for approval. Stop waiting for someone else to make it easier. Take responsibility. Step into your power, because no one else can walk this path for you. It's your life, your choices, your responsibility. And if you embrace that fully, not only will you stop being a victim, you'll become unstoppable. 9. Live as if today were your last. Let me ask you something powerful. If today were your last day on earth, how would you live it? Would you spend it scrolling mindlessly on your phone? Would you waste it in arguments, bitterness, and regret? Or would you finally say what you've been meaning to say, do what you've been meaning to do, and live with the urgency that life deserves? The Stoics had a word for this. Memento mori, remember that you will die, not to scare you, but to remind you that life is short, fragile, and unpredictable. Every moment wasted is a moment you will never get back. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man of his time, wrote in his private journal, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." If an emperor needed that reminder, how much more do we? Think about this. None of us are promised tomorrow. We plan our lives as if we have an endless supply of days, but in reality, every sunrise we witness is a gift. And yet, how often do we treat it like a burden? Living as if today were your last doesn't mean being reckless. It doesn't mean throwing everything away in pursuit of pleasure. It means living with clarity. It means being intentional about your time, your energy, your love, and your purpose. If today were your last, would you call your loved ones and tell them how much they mean to you? Would you stop postponing that dream project you've been talking about for years? Would you forgive someone, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace? Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Most people are not truly living, they're just existing. They're waiting for the weekend, waiting for retirement, waiting for someday. But someday is not guaranteed. The truth is, your life is happening right now, not tomorrow, not next year, not when circumstances are perfect. It's happening in this very moment as you hear these words. So here's the challenge. Live today as if it were your last. Wake up with gratitude, speak with honesty, work with passion, love with intensity, and don't let fear, doubt, or procrastination steal another second from you. Imagine how different your life would look if you lived each day fully present, fully aware, fully alive. Imagine how much stronger, kinder, and more courageous you would become. And here's the paradox. When you live as if today were your last, you actually live longer, not in years, but in depth, in meaning, in impact. The Bible reminds us in Psalm 90, "Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." Wisdom comes when you realize that time is the most precious resource you have. So stop wasting it. Stop waiting for a better time. Stop assuming you'll always have more. Because the truth is, your last day will come, maybe sooner than you think. But if you live with courage, gratitude, and love, then when that day arrives, you won't fear it. You'll embrace it knowing you truly lived. So I'll ask you again, if today were your last day, how would you live it? Whatever your answer is, go do it. Don't wait. Live now. So here we are. We've walked through 9 Stoic principles, 9 timeless truths that have the power to reshape your life. We've talked about taking action now instead of waiting, about winning your morning so the rest of the day follows, about choosing discipline over feelings, about building habits that shape your destiny, about the sacrifices required for greatness, about rejecting comfort that weakens you, about celebrating small wins every day, and about taking full responsibility for your life. But let me be clear. All of these lessons mean nothing. Absolutely nothing. If you don't act on them. Knowledge alone has never changed a life. Inspiration fades. Motivation comes and goes. The only thing that transforms you is action. Think about it. How many times have you heard powerful advice, nodded your head, maybe even felt a spark of excitement, and then went right back to your old ways? That's the trap. That's how dreams die. Not because we didn't know what to do, but because we didn't do it. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said it best. While we are postponing, life speeds by. Life is moving right now. It's not waiting for you to get ready. It doesn't pause until you feel motivated. And if you keep waiting for the perfect time, that time will never come. The truth is, the perfect time doesn't exist. The only time you truly have is this moment, right here, right now. And the question is, what will you do with it? Maybe you'll finally write that first page of the book you've been dreaming about. Maybe you'll step into the gym for the first time in years. Maybe you'll make that phone call to mend a broken relationship. Or maybe it's as simple as choosing to wake up tomorrow with purpose instead of letting the day control you. Whatever it is, don't wait. Don't let today slip away into tomorrow. Because tomorrow is not promised, but today is yours. The 9 Stoic principles we've covered are not abstract ideas. They are a roadmap. They are weapons for the battles of life. But a weapon left unused cannot win a war. You have to pick it up. You have to step forward. You have to act. So here's my challenge to you. Pick just one principle from today's message and put it into practice immediately. Not next week. Not when it feels convenient. Today. Because small actions repeated daily create unstoppable momentum. And when you look back months or years from now, you'll realize that the life you once dreamed of, you're actually living it. Don't let life pass you by. Don't wait for the right moment. The right moment is now. So take the first step, and then another, and another. Because greatness doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who act. If this video has touched you, please hit like, subscribe, and share to spread the Stoic message to more people.